Welcome to ATT Live. I'm Braden.
I'm Dan.
I'm Andrew.
And today we have a special guest, Special Agent Correspondent Shadow-SETI.
Mr. J.
Mr. J. How's it going today?
Not the Joker.
Okay, before we start, you guys ever been in an earthquake, like a legit earthquake?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in Vancouver.
Not one I
There's
couldn't
been
feel.
earthquakes, but never felt it.
Or not when I could.
I lived in Japan. I mean, they happen quite frequently.
So today, I'm sitting in the trailer. It's like 3:30 doing stuff. And I swear to God, I thought the big one was hitting. The trailer just started rocking. I was like literally it was like, rant. I was like, oh my God,
Were you
this is it. I'm dead.
It's bizarre. Every step I take, the thing shakes. Like, what the fuck's happening?
That's
So
not
then
good for Live Studios.
No, buddy, I got beakers and shit all over the place. This is terrible. So I leave the trailer. I'm like, holy shit, what a wild earthquake. I go inside. I'm like, did you feel that, Jamie? She goes, no. I was like, we just had an earthquake. It was wild. She's like, I thought maybe I felt something. Looked it up. It was a 4.3 earthquake, but just because I'm in the trailer and it's like on wheels, I was like, oh God, like rolling around. It was brutal.
Fucking crying.
Lo and behold, someone outside your trailer just
This is
violently
it.
shaking.
The other news, I now have to wear this sweater all the time since I'm so recognizable in it. Just
Right.
no brag. Everyone knows I'm the face of the podcast now.
The face that
Fucking
runs the place.
Star of the show. Our most
yeah.
I've started my own model account because I got 641 likes.
Yeah.
on this.
None of the other cast members of
Yeah.
ATT got
You're not getting
643 likes.
So
yeah,
you finally beat out. You fucking finally beat out toilet seat face. That's gone? You beat him.
No, that's no. Sorry, he's still the best.
Oh,
but I was
okay,
getting,
okay.
I was getting roasted in the comments too. Someone, a good one, Uncle Dill was saying I look like Leon the Professional.
Right.
So that's good.
Leon, the professional eater.
It's funnier because Dan said that before, so it's
I did.
funnier than no.
Yeah,
the fucking
that's
no
right.
tell
The
by-
second time.
Phenomenal. Well, anyways, we got stuff on live today. Hey, have you guys ever heard of anything called the Dicinian goggles?
Is
Not
that
until you
like the
mentioned
lead
it.
mask?
No, I don't think so. I don't think
Okay.
it's like the lead mask. Maybe, but it's dependent. Maybe you know more about the Dicinian goggles than me because I read a paragraph or two about it, and now I'm all on board of the Dicinian goggles.
Okay.
Well, now doesn't that make you an
Is
expert,
it-
just like you are with like UFOs and stuff?
Isn't
Yeah.
that like the glass that supposedly can see UFOs through it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, some people say it like depending on the account. So basically,
Thin the veil.
the story goes, yeah, it does thin the veil actually. The story goes that years ago, I know a miner prospecting. He
Stinky Pete.
he goes down there and he goes, "Whoa! I think I found some gold," and it's just a huge deposit of Dicinian ore. And this guy had what I like to call Zell energy, because what he did is he like takes it and he turns it to dust and he's like, "What to do with this?"
You gotta
And
snort
he's
it.
like, "You know what? I'm just gonna I'm gonna mix it with glass and make glasses for myself." So this guy like makes some glasses for himself, mixing.
Doesn't that
with this
supposedly in
Dicinian ore.
high quantity have small amounts of radiation?
I think so. I think that's what I read. It's also poisonous. But this guy wears it and he's like, I'm seeing sounds. I can see different frequencies. I can see different dimensions. Like the world, I'm seeing at a higher frequency than anything else. Goes crazy and dies. Apparently, that's the legend of what I read. Now,
Basically, this thing like just advertises what everything that you get at the bottom of cereal box does. Those
X-ray
fucking
glass.
3D specs.
yeah.
Okay.
I had some
It sounds like what he thought he saw, he did not see.
Yeah, that is in fact the truth. But fast forward, apparently the United States military, so the story goes, they were interested in this kind of Dicinian technology. So they made Dicinian like night vision goggles for the troops in the Vietnam War to help fight the guerrilla warfare and stuff. And so they like outfitted like troops and like, yeah, wear these. You know, they probably look like the big Jurassic Park ones. These guys are rolling through the forest very quickly. These guys just started shooting up their own helicopters like right out of the base, just like blasting. They're like, guys are like tackling them like, yo, this is like friendly fire. And they had to discontinue the goggles completely.
They're giving everybody radiation poisoning. They're going fucking crazy.
I read about that. It said they all flipped out, just going nuts. And then they're all going nuts. Project.
They were saying they were seeing demons, and demons were controlling them. They could like they thought things were coming from the sky, and like they were having like paranoid thoughts and stuff. Like absolutely wild shit. I couldn't believe I'd never heard that before. That these things existed.
And then after they sold those great goggles, they got the crappy $20 knockoffs.
No, those are real. All the ones that you buy from the magazine, absolutely 100% real. You know?
Yeah. Because you can look up Dicenian goggles. They look kind of like this, but a little bit bluer tint. Apparently, you can see through those ones. So.
Yeah, I've seen some videos surfacing from like a Russian people taking pieces of glass throughout the city and waving it over their phone camera, fake or not, but showing like UFOs pop up when they're looking through the glass and out whenever
through
they're
that
not.
Dicenian glass.
Yeah, I mean, it could be fake. I don't know how to.
I'd say so. Yeah,
depict that, but most likely, if not,
I mean, if they didn't come from a fucking cereal box, I don't know.
But it like got me thinking. I wonder how many like of these fucking crazy experimental tech that they're just like they have on a shelf. They're like, okay, haunted night vision goggles. We're gonna fucking set those aside. Like, is there like
right
a warehouse just full of these relics?
Smithsonian, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah. Where they're just like
wooden crates.
It's just haunted artifacts.
Top men.
Shadow Ursi, you were gonna bring some today. What'd you have?
Yeah, we've already talked about it. You guys heard about the black-eyed children? Braden, you said you've done something in the past about it before.
I think we
did.
Braden has punched many kids in the face and given them black eyes. Yeah.
And if Andrew's kids don't start being good before Christmas, I mean, yeah, an elf on the shelf.
That's a recorded.
You're gonna go from elf on the shelf to left hook on the chin, real fucking quick.
Yeah, no. The black-eyed children is a recent urban legend, cryptid, if you want to call it. And the earliest article I could find about it is like 1996, 1998, where a guy talking about he's seen some children come out at the side of his car and asked to come in, and really creepy. He's like, man, we don't have a gun. We're not gonna hurt you. Why don't you just let us in? We need a ride home to go get our money and come back to the Mortal Kombat movie. Movie's already started.
Was it the first movie or the second movie?
First one. 96.
The first one? 96 the first one?
96 first one.
All right.
He tried to tell them that the movie's already started and it was too late. And then he looked up and seen that they had black eyes and then were hate-filled, and only one of them was talking. And whenever you told them no, they tried to persist to get in.
I will say though, like that time, around that time that movie came out, my little brother had a bunch of black eyes too, because I watched that movie and I came home and I fucked him up bad. Like I think everybody did.
Yeah, your bicycle kicking everything.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You just fucking slam on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack and then just spam out that one track. Yeah,
every time I could.
Yeah, you gotta test your might, man.
Yeah, you never know.
But after that came out, it seems like a lot of other people had their own stories, whether made up or felt like they could come forward since someone else had already. But basically, these black-eyed children seem to have like same characteristics of all in all the men in black, so to say. The vampires too, because they seem to not be able to enter a home or vehicle or any residential, if you want to call a vehicle a residential, I guess it could be, without being invited in for whatever reason. And whenever someone invites them in after they leave, it always seems like something bad happens, like someone gets sick, goes to the doctor, and has radiation poison.
Well,
There's
it's
something bad.
Like the harbinger
the account
of
is
doom.
the weird thing is like the fucking the little bit parallels to like that vampire lore of like they won't come inside, right? Like I'm like,
Yeah, it just makes it
That's kinda
creepy
weird.
too because they're children. I mean,
well, are they children? Or do they just appear children? That's always kind of what I wondered too. Like, are
well,
these
in
things-
most cases, it says they appear between the ages of 6 to 15. Seems like 15 is the age cap.
I mean, in theory, you always think you're like, oh, like kids, babies, everything makes everything spookier. But I mean, if you're going to get paranormally activated, I'll take a bunch of like paranormally active 8-year-olds over one like 6'4", black-eyed, scary dude. And
But that's when that kid turns into the 6'4" demon.
well, then you're
As soon as you invite him in.
yeah, then you're in some serious trouble immediately after.
yeah.
I think I put black eyed kids in the same category as Slender Man. These old the newish urban legends.
Yeah, kind of
They're
like a
not- they're
creepypasta.
created. It's like that's 1996 or 1990s, early days of the internet. Shit was wild. You could put anything out there.
Wasn't
would
Slender
eat it.
Man directly like? Wasn't that a video game though? Like, didn't they?
It is a video
I
game
think
now,
it's
but
after-
that
after
was
the
It is now.
I mean, that
it was
a
originally
creepy-
so
a
it was
creepypasta that grew out.
Yeah, it was a
Oh,
spooky
so it was a
story.
creepy thing first, and then
Yeah, it was a
turned into
spooky
video
story
game.
first, and then that became has
Much worse.
become what it
I
is
would
now.
say. But
But it's like whether these black eyed kids are paranormal in nature. I mean, it's not like this is in folklore. Like these aren't like an isolated thing. That's like you could probably find examples of similar creatures or
Well,
denizens.
like, could it just
of
be a gray, right? Like that's how they describe grays all the time with those big black eyes, similar size.
Yeah, but they have,
Could
like-
it's just been an encounter.
I mean,
Or
unless
do you
maybe the
think-
Gray's wearing a wig or something. Like, I
Well,
guess.
that's a good point, though. That's a good point because maybe it was like maybe this is one of those things where it's like the reaction to the little grays was so alarming that they're like, you know what? Maybe we should look like children at least. At least we're not freaking them out. We're a little more hidden in plain sight if we're kids rather than fucking like.
So it's just
don't
a
look
couple
like
Grays
humans at all.
going to see the Mortal Kombat movie, and they,
That's the
I
ultimate
never-
human
I never thought about
experience.
that.
it's their only way to get to it.
Buddy, let me tell you something. Cinema, like that era of cinema, fucking rocked though. That's like the golden age. So like I could see if these are time traveling us from the future, they're coming back, right? They're coming back to this area.
I want to go see Mortal Kombat in theaters. I want to see Johnny Cage hit that split punch. Like,
Well, that's what they just wanted to get in the vehicle for whatever reason. They're like, excuse me, humans. We need monies for 2 tickets to the world's most popular show, Mortal of the Kombat. I mean, that was probably the biggest movie in the theaters that fucking month.
It almost worth breaking your mythological barrier.
Absolutely.
These things had to cross the veil. They had to get across to go see the Mortal Kombat movie. It's not that much in the court of Night Fae or whatever.
Faye,
Uncle Slam's topping us up on the beer fund here with a nice donation. He's saying send me those links to those dork glasses, amigo. These are one of ones. If you just look up tiniest glasses available to buy, you will have no problem finding them. I think they're
You got an ad for that when you're typing in for tiniest condoms, and then that just pops up first, or what?
I'll buy these
stuff
too.
pops up, man. Mine's
One of each, please.
yeah. I'm like, perfect. It's like people who buy these also buy these.
I'll bundle these together. Suggested purchases.
But on that note, I wanted to mention too to people the best way to support the show. You can go to patreon.com. /Alien Theorist Podcast. That's going to be the golden standard, and we repay you with your donation by giving you hundreds of hours of bonus stuff. Or you hit us the paypal.me, Big Theory Productions, or scan the little code there. That's the second best way. Third best way is right in the super chat there. It all goes to the same place. So we thank you for your support. Dan, you had something tonight, right? What were you bringing tonight?
So I recently found out that there is. In the recent months, we've seen in the building up of the entire the UAP phenomenon. We've had pretty much Grush going, supernova on the entire thing on the episode, on the topic of disclosure, right? At least one company is trying to get in on the ground floor of exploiting that extraterrestrial market. And this is probably, I should have thought of this, because I would think I would think this is fake if I hadn't really seen it, but moon pies. Moon pie. I'm not sure. You guys have moon pies in Canada? Like, I'm not sure if you guys have moon pies
before.
I've never heard of them.
You've never heard of moon pies?
They're like a meat pie?
They're deliciously bad for you.
Moon pies. I fucking love moon pies.
Banana all
just
the way.
before, thank you, Steve McLaughlin. He is sponsoring the Moon Pie segment.
Brought to you by Moon Pie and RC
$20 can buy you
Dude,
like 4 boxes of moon pies.
That's a fucking wagon wheel.
Is that what you guys
The wagon wheel?
It's a wagon wheel.
Oh shit! Yeah,
It's like shortbread. It's like shortbread covered in chocolate, then like
little bit
with,
of like
with marshmallow, like sandwich and thing.
Yeah, it's a wagon wheel.
Okay, yeah, we call them wagon wheels.
Yeah.
We're not all this. We're not up on that space age shit up here yet.
That's it.
Well, when you take
It's
a
sold
bite
better
of
up.
it,
Well, it's sold better up there because, like, Canadians are like, moon, what's that?
no.
They're like, wagon wheel. I know what that is.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are stuck a couple years
We do-
behind.
Just because we didn't fake anything doesn't mean we all right,
We know wagons are real.
All right. Our film
we can see
production is
wagons.
behind the scenes.
So apparently Moon Pies is becoming the first brand to market to extraterrestrials, and that what they have pretty much they have in a global outdoor campaign that they commissioned. And so this is incredibly interesting. Like, I pulled this up this week, that there was a they partnered up with an advertising company called Tombras, and they actually made like a 4-minute short of them basically coming up with a campaign where they had actual consultants on this. They brought on like a couple of people. So first was Daniel Oberhaus, who is an alien language linguistics expert who works for SETI, like an actual SETI scientist. Holly Ann Wood, or Hollywood,
pies are in different languages.
Well, I'll get to that. So Hollywood,
we need a human vote here.
Well, we
on
needed it translated into Canadian to begin with.
Well, yeah. First off. Secondly, I'm like, okay, like, I don't think it's fair that I think we need legislation. You got to get out and vote, and we need to put legislation forward that we cannot allow treats to speak for the people. The people should choose the treat that are going to represent the humankind, because I would never ever.
I think moon pies are perfectly acceptable. They are sweet. Yeah,
I would never
probably
ever,
the best.
It's your first day on Earth. Here's a fucking wagon wheel.
Amazing.
Yeah, not happening. But
Terrible.
Just shove them banana flavored sugar.
Yeah, like do you guys have different flavored wagon wheels? Because moon pies come in different flavors. They
we don't.
Chocolate, banana,
banana, mint, strawberry, vanilla. Yeah.
Mint strawberry?
No, not mint strawberry. There's strawberry and then there's mint.
Whenever you're thinking, does Canada have that flavor? We have the flavors we have up here are chocolate, vanilla, and ketchup. That's it.
Yeah,
those are our flavors. Okay.
That
sounds disgusting.
We got all dressed too.
And we got all dressed, which is just like extra ketchup. Which is all of them
More
together.
ketchup.
Chocolate, vanilla,
and ketchup together. It's like Neapolitan.
Right.
Well, here in America, they got to give us different ways to get diabetes.
So they put out this great short with Daniel Oberhaus, Holly Ann Wood, who is a UAP researcher, and Sean Cahill, who is actually a UAP disclosure activist, and he's actually a former member of the U.S. Navy, and he was one of the witnesses to the USS Nimitz Tic Tac UFO. So they did this great short about this. So Daniel Oberhaus is actually he's written a book about how he is basically come up with a means of communication called Linkos. It's a type of language based on binary, where you can translate English into a binary bitmap code.
Motherfuckers are not going to sell any more moon pies doing this. Literally zero.
So
I feel like the moon pie market has plateaued probably 30 years ago, and they're just hanging on just above water.
You obviously never visited southern United States.
Yeah, these are
Mountain Dew and moon pies.
This ad campaign that they ran is nuts. It actually looked pretty cool. It's actually a cool little short that they did with it. So they took Linkos, which is it translates English into a binary bitmap of code-based language that theoretically, if you understand math and if that's the universal language, then perhaps aliens, extraterrestrials, would be able to understand it easily. Or
what's shit in binary?
So MoonPie took out all of these billboards, and they ran airplane banners. They got
Big moon pie shutting them down.
Uh-oh.
He's talking too much.
Yeah,
About the MoonPie.
let me tell you something. Not only did MoonPies invest all this money in this ad campaign, they've got AI shutting you down before you can get started talking about MoonPies.
Being told this wasn't the government.
Shadowworks, in there on his earpiece. Shut him down. Shut him down.
Get rid
He
of
knows too much about the moon and the pies.
Andrew, did you have something? Did you bring something tonight?
just my personality,
Nice. I got notes.
some humor. What else do you need from me?
Have you heard of this one? I had saved it on my phone here. Have you ever heard of the YouTube channel or this guy named Kenny Veach? He goes by
Kenny Veach,
Snakebite.
yes, I have. Yes, I have heard of Kenny Veach.
He goes by Snakebite McGee on YouTube, apparently. And I guess this guy's whole channel was that, like,
He just lets stuff bite him.
I don't know. From what I heard, it was like he explored the Mojave Desert and looked for areas, and he was kind of like into the supernatural, and he would like explore caves, and it was kind of like an outdoor / supernatural kind of show back in 2014.
So just like walking in the desert and screaming for ghosts.
Yeah, basically. And one time in one of his videos, I guess he found like an entrance to this cave, and the cave entrance was shaped like perfect capital M, like Dr. like
Moriarty.
evil villain style.
Yeah, like
right?
Moriarty.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg's evil lair.
Yeah. Well, 2014. Yeah, he could afford that then. Yeah. He was still rich then. So he's like, hey, listen, this guy loves exploring caves and stuff. So he goes in. So he actually goes into the cave, and he says like he starts to have a really like violent body vibrations. He just starts feeling ill.
Oh,
so he's like, yeah, he's just like, fuck it, get out of the cave. So he books it out of this cave, and then he's like, you know, I'm going to make another trip to this cave. And he just talks about like how this cave freaked him out and it spooked him out, and like how wild it was. And he kind of like does a couple recount videos, I guess, and he's talking about like his experience, and he's just like, you know what, I've got to go back. I've got to go back and check on this cave. Like, that's what I want to do. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to go in the cave. I'm going to sort out what it is. So he like his a couple months later, he makes a video saying that like his plan is to go back to this certain cave, that the M cave or whatever it is. And so he heads to that cave, and he's never heard from again, ever. Vanishes. He's never been seen from again. Never.
He should have took a portable dome to block.
You're telling me a guy wandered out into the desert by himself and never came back?
Well, the interesting thing is that and the thing I was thinking of is like, because I was reading the comments on this Reddit thread, and it's like talking about all the wild things that could have happened to him, and I was like there's caves, there's cave networks and stuff like in the world where it's like they have like unusually high deposits of like carbon monoxide and stuff, right? Like,
sure,
where like you can't even light caves. So if you go in, you'll just quickly die a silent death. You'll have no idea, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
You also have animals that will eat you.
Yeah, also animals and stuff. So it's how strange is it? What? Holy fuck! Fucking Big MoonPie. Sorry, Big MoonPie.
Yeah,
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
I was plugging Big MoonPie.
Yeah, holy my god. All right, we're ease up, Shadowworthy. Let them know we're off the MoonPies.
You guys are talking shit about MoonPies. That's why.
Yeah, we were. As soon as you got knocked, we are like, oh, it's Big MoonPie. Dan was talking too much shit, and so they had to take you down. I just thought it was interesting that like this guy, like, you know, all about this supernatural and stuff, sees this cave, and then the next video he does is never seen from again, trying to go find that cave out. And I guess there's other like users and stuff.
How did the video get uploaded?
Well, he never uploaded again. So he uploaded a video saying he's going to go back to that cave, and then he went missing. He never uploaded again.
Yeah, what I was reading, like it was like there's a bit of a lead up to like him going there. Like he quit his job like a month before like that happened, and like he left the camera in the car when he went out there. And there was like, I don't know, his girlfriend kind of made a statement about him like having issues with depression and things like that. And she seemed to be pretty sure that the conclusion was that he had killed himself, or is what had happened.
Well, people are always searching for the cave now, and that cave, they like,
which is like even worse.
Well, who knows? Maybe just seen something that he couldn't find anywhere else that was inside the cave, so he went back and stayed.
I would hate to I don't know why you'd wander. If you're looking for something, you could just wander out there by yourself. Like, it seems like just a horrible idea. It's a buddy system. You learn about it in like elementary school. Like, people just want to just go out there and be like, yeah, okay. It's going to wander out into the desert. There's snakes, poisonous snakes, dehydration, poisonous gases in these caves.
Now the sun will just kill you.
Well, that's an interesting one. I totally forgot about that. December, what's the 17th? The 14th, there was a coronal mass ejection that was so big that it knocked out shortwave radios for 30 minutes. I just thought, you just reminded me that. I was like, I remember reading that on the 14th. Like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Everyone's been freaking out about the hole in the sun.
Super fun, yeah. Which only shows up in like infrared, like when you look at it. But yeah, it's that thing was pretty huge. It was like one of the biggest ones we've ever had. Like solar winds, like knocked out. Yeah, that's why we had a lot of people were able to see, I think, pretty much like as far south as like New York. Like they had chances of seeing auroras with that one. Just like a bunch of stuff, like wicked stuff going on. You're just like, oh, that's cool. Like it just, I don't know, space is rad. Like a bunch of shit flying around.
We got X-waved. Like, like it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild when like communication networks get knocked out for that long. It was like everything under 30, whatever fucking decibel. I don't know. The 30. There was a 30. I remember. I read the article on the 14th. It's the 17th. What do you want me to do? I can't remember. I didn't have that prepared for tonight. You said the sun, and I was like, oh yeah, that was fucking cool.
Oh yeah, the sun.
The other thing is that's been popping off is, I mean, I knew Tucker Carlson only briefly in my life prior to his like resurgence in the last little while, and it was from when he was getting fucking absolutely bodied embarrassed by Jon Stewart, for wearing a bow tie on his show, and then I never heard from him again. And then I never heard from him, and then all of a sudden it was like he got fired from Fox News. Tucker Carlson. I was like, oh okay, all right. I didn't know he was still a guy, like just even around. Then all of a sudden he's huge.
When he got fired from Fox News, was that because of the fucking Obama BJ stuff, or did he do that on his private one?
Like they got caught lying or something, and then they got in big trouble, and then Fox News let him go.
There's like some there was like a
fucking lie all the time on Fox News. It's half the platform is lying.
There was like a shift in management and stuff, and then like I think there is some.
All right, listen, pal. Bow ties are out. You're gone. Pack your shit.
Short ties are in. But it's like, listen, we're not shitting on Tucker Carlson. What I wanted to say is very interesting. All of a sudden, today and yesterday, huge UFO guy all of a sudden out of the blue. Like I never knew he was a huge UFO guy. He's interviewing fucking Grush, and he's saying things in interviews after he's like, the shit I know is so dark. I can't tell anyone. I can't tell you, the listener. I can't tell the shit I know. It's so dark. It's spiritual, dimensional. They're coming out of everywhere. The stuff I know, I can't even tell my wife what's going on. It's so dark. And I'm like, you can tell me. You just tell me. Yeah, no problem. I'm all in. Super weird, like UFO guy. All of a sudden, like came out of left field for me. Did you guys? Did anyone here know that this guy was a big UFO advocate before?
Oh, He's talked about UAPs on a couple of his shows. Usually, when it's a slow news day, where he would bring out the UAP stuff. But no, it's not like it's stuff that he doesn't talked about before. That specific interview that you're referencing is like pretty funny because I found it like within a couple of seconds he's like, I've talked to people and I haven't verified any of this, but it scares me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Number one,
trusted sources.
Oh yeah, that's like I know these people. These people who have gathered information. Yeah, it's like these people who have gathered information for themselves. I'm like, okay, like sure. But he's like, yeah,
but then. Doesn't tell anything. He's like, I can't tell you. It's so dark.
Yeah, but that's literally everything that comes out with UFOs now. That was fucking.
See, Alex Jones would tell us.
Yeah,
and he has
And then
already
you put on a
told us.
demonstration. You do a science experiment. Blow some
and then
shit
he'd get
up.
real
and then
nuts.
Sell me some fucking.
Then he'd go to the bathroom get quick, and then come back, a little powder on his nose, and he'd wiping his nose, and he'd be like, and he'd go off about lizard people for
Alex
15
Jones
minutes.
tried to tell us. And what did he get?
telling us for years.
Tell us about extra dimensional beings for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
He's back though.
I think it's on.
Oh, yeah.
Back on X. I don't think he's done anything yet, has he?
I
I
think
don't
he
know. Braden's probably following him. I don't know.
Yeah. The frog's still gay.
Check.
Just if anyone was wondering, a little frog update. Frogs still gay. What else we got?
Oh, this was pretty interesting. So we're actually on the verge of being able to communicate. Probably like the first. Oh, I guess it could be considered the first confirmed case of communicating with a non-human intelligence. And by non-human,
Octopuses?
whales, cetaceans.
Dude, we fucking
Haven't we
sign
been able
language
to talk with them
monkeys.
for a while?
Yeah.
Sending
What are you talking about?
signals
We talk-
throughout
we
the
talk with
ocean.
monkeys.
And hearing back.
So some scientists in the Western Sydney University have actually announced that they're gonna. Oh no, wait, sorry, that's a different what I'm talking about. These are actually a team of scientists from the SETI Institute in conjunction with the University of California, Davis, and the Alaska Whale Foundation.
They just
have
got
actually
big old
put together
sonars where they're like, "Hello."
Essentially, yeah, that's pretty much it. They hung a speaker at the bottom of their boat, and they actually played while they were
They
studying
took a
humpback
page out of
whales.
Dory's book. They're like, "This is so crazy, it might just work."
I mean, simplified, yeah. That's pretty much what they did. So they have been studying humpback whale communication systems for a while, and so what they did is they kind of put together what they figured was a kind of essentially like a greeting call of what they did. And so when they played it through the speaker in the bottom of the boat, they said they actually had a humpback whale that they were kind of near. It actually circled the boat and then sent back a conversational string of like clicks, whistles, whale language, essentially. And it was like 20 minutes. For like 20 minutes, went back and forth. And it just responded in like the intervals that they like estimated between the times of like hearing back. Like these things were what they assumed is like this thing is talking. Like it was talking to their calls or responding to their calls.
It's kind of like when you
have to get governmental authorization to do that, because it's like sending out calls can mess up their migration patterns, like bring pods.
Yeah, they're like, we didn't think about
to
that
the
far
call.
ahead. No, don't worry about that.
Well, it wasn't like
they're
sonar.
putting
but it
out
was,
singles, and
yeah.
the fucking whales respond. I can talk. I had the same conversations with my fucking cat. I'll make a noise. He makes a noise.
Yeah.
impressed.
You ever hit your cat up with a fucking meow meow, and then he just look at you, and then they maybe give a fucking wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
I just
shit.
don't understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what you
Same
saying?
shit. There's some like you're kind of feeling each other. You're like, maybe is there some? Did we just communicate? Yeah, we did. Huge shout out to Clayton Killian. Dude, always supporting the show. This guy, absolute
yeah,
beauty,
buddy.
topping up the coffers. Thank you. Enjoy the top up on the beer fund. And from our boy Cole, thank you, Cole, for supporting you guys, sponsoring the whale segment. Cheers to that.
Well, it's like we got a real Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, coming
Oh,
on
wow.
here, you know, like freaking. The plot of that one was essentially, I don't know if everybody remembers it, but it was essentially
No, I do not remember that one.
yeah. So
No,
is it?
I think I've seen.
saw it.
I don't think I've seen one of the Star Treks. None
Well,
of the old ones.
I'm not a big fan.
It's kind of right up our alley. Whereas like the crux of the plot was that there was like a computer that kind of, I think, like managed like the environmental controls on a certain planet, but they couldn't. It started like breaking down, and the only thing that could communicate it with it was like humpback whales for some reason. Like there was a type of like they were like the only thing they determined was like humpback whales would be able to speak to this, but since they were extinct, they had to go back in time and go get some. So I mean,
One of these days they're going to send out a signal, and it's going to be something like Godzilla or a kaiju that just calls back.
well, I mean, it brings up the thing, like if you think of planet, like a place like Enceladus or something like that, one of these like frozen planets that's, you know, potentially just has like a giant sea underneath there. And what if like the creatures underneath there are similar to our cetaceans?
You know what that is? Space whale
Yeah.
captured under the ice.
Yeah.
And
It's like there's a bunch of beluga whales or something, you know, like essentially, and they communicate with those, communicate that
Huge
way.
shout out to Rusty Mill. Love you, boys. Please keep the show going. I single-handedly keeping Canadians alive in New York. Been listening since Case File 40. Thank you, boys. The big old $50 donation. Thank you, Rusty Mill. Holy,
Big
we're
money.
going to be drinking some top shelf next week, baby.
Top shelf RC Cola.
And Tanko, I mean, it sucks. It sucks being the donation after that, the big donation. Tanko, $20. Come on, buddy.
We appreciate it.
You see what our boy Rusty just did?
Every bit counts. Every bit counts.
Tanko, thank you for that. That's definitely going to hit the beer fund. I don't know why those aren't popping up. Oh, there they go. There we go. It popped up. Took a while though. And someone in the chat saying, Captain specifically saying Star Trek 4, jump the whale.
Yeah.
And people are asking where the link to our merch store can be found. Alientheorist.com. Check it out. There's big old tab, merch. You can buy yourself some shirts. And
There's
stuff.
some pretty good shirts on there.
Yeah. I would say, I like
Looking for a Christmas gift,
shirts.
last minute Christmas gift.
Hey,
That's very
some
good.
pretty cool art on there. Some people get them, tattooed on their body.
That's right. You do have one, don't you?
Yeah, I have
Fucking
some of your
whip
artwork
it out,
on there.
whip it out, whip it out, whip it out, whip it out,
can try
whip
it.
it out. All right,
It's kinda
Please,
hard to add.
Zell,
Whoa,
cue the
long
sexy
sleeve.
music.
Slow down a little bit.
Yeah, hey, what's the rush
I'll,
here? We got to
let me-
fill 20 more minutes.
Let me do the easy way.
So we
I
should go up
actually
White
have-
Snake. We got White Snake
sure.
and put it out there.
Yeah, Zell, we need rights cleared ASAP. Let's go. There we go. What is it? Oh yeah, the old Chris Kimberly art. That is dope.
Yeah,
That was good.
I
That
love that
dope.
one.
That's rad.
That is fucking awesome.
So yeah, I actually have the logo forever.
Oh yeah, buddy.
This is probably a good time to tell you that we are now full-fledged Nazis.
Oh man, good thing.
I mean,
can
Dan,
just
you've
get
been
red
hinting at that for a long time. And when you say
Not
we,
us.
you mean you.
What was it? We had this is the, like, for those of you listening, this is our go home live before the Christmas break. So we pre-recorded some, and let's just say we have a Christmas special coming out that's going to come out Christmas Day for everyone. And Dan right away gets into some, right in the middle, just some unbelievable
thick of it.
racism.
In the
He's just
thick of
picking
it.
race apart left and right on the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Me and Andrew tried to call him out, but he just steamrolls us.
No. Just kept going.
Hate-fueled rants.
Had to go.
Yeah.
Had to get it out.
So, someone said Country Road played over the merch plug because when you tip a certain amount, Country Roads plays. So, alientheorist.com/ no, just alientheorist.com. There's a merch tab. What else do we have? Do we have anything else? Do you have, do you guys ever hear have we ever talked about the 2003 Alaskan UFO encounter in Sayward, Alaska?
We don't talk about aliens
Seaward?
anymore.
Yeah. It's too much. It's been way too
Seward?
alien heavy.
It's one where, like, a group of kids out during the twilight, they see, like, basically like 15 pairs of stick people. Right, different.
like South Park aliens.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It describes them as like reflected. They had 3 feet tall, large heads, and eyes that reflected greenish light when they shone their flashlights on them. The stick people walked towards the kids, and they ran for the road. And
More
we're
like a
15
waddle,
to
I'd imagine.
yeah, and we're 15 to 20 more of these stick like aliens appeared. And a single adult witnessed it. It's in 2003 though. That's why I was like, I can't believe we've never heard of
stuff, eh? This is fucking suspenseful craziness.
this. You don't like stick figure?
I don't know.
thought it was.
No,
I thought,
I just wasn't. I didn't buy into the story. You didn't paint a good picture.
you didn't pay. Okay, let me paint
Yeah,
a
I
new
need to-
picture.
Let
It just sounds a little weird. I don't see why kids would be out in the
Hold
Alaskan
on,
winter.
there we go. Yeah, give me some chins. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Much more
Alaska,
credible. There you go.
2003.
2003.
Got it.
Perfect.
A group of young boys out in the forest, minding their own business.
Yeah.
When suddenly a bright light appears in front of them. Now, in front of these boys, this is when boys became men, because in front of them appeared several stick-like aliens. Now, you may be wondering yourself, what did these aliens look like? Well, they were 3 feet tall. And as the boys recounted, they had large heads. And when they shone their flashlights on them, their big old eyes would shine a greenish hue back to them. Now the boys, now men, obviously fear for their lives. They turned and hightailed it out of the forest. And they ran their little legs as fast as they would take them till they got to the highway. And when they got to the highway, they looked
That's
like...
when the Duke brothers jumped the fucking highway.
Learn.
Not done.
Boys
Sure,
better
sure,
learn how to fly.
They looked right in their show.
Damn Duke boys.
Is that better? Is that better?
That was amazing.
Sorry.
That was phenomenal, buddy.
Yeah.
That was
Fantastic.
fucking.
I didn't even get to finish.
I was gripping my seat.
I just imagine if they had
Braden's
such large
folksy
heads that
alien
you say-
encounters.
But you should be narrating the Dukes of Hazzard. That's
Yeah.
exact, the
If
exact
there's
same
ever a
voice.
remake, I'll put my name in the hat.
There was a remake. Didn't
Oh,
go
yeah, it
over
was
well.
When they need somebody to fill in for the
Knoxville.
ancient aliens guy, it could be you. Like on that.
Yeah, maybe I'll submit. I'll start a cameo and I'll start pitching it on my IMDb and be like, voiceover work. I'll only do that. Anything. I'll talk like this in the interview, and then when they bring me in, I'll be like, well, now it was just one day. I was 1 day old before I.
Those Duke
They're
boys
like, why
You should
talk
start
like this?
reading your poems for YouTube videos. And sweater neck.
Yeah.
Think about all the likes you're going to get from that. 642 maybe.
Dude, I'm never reading my poetry ever again. You fucking assholes. Ever.
Oh, buddy, listen.
I enjoyed
set
it. You
yourself
made
up
me
for that
laugh.
Shit. You did it on purpose.
Tune in next month for ATT Poetry Slam with Braden.
I need some rainfall. No, it's anytime I see a UFO encounter that's like, after 2000, I'm like, right away, I'm like, okay, this is recent. When really it's not that recent, but like, they're few and far
20 years
between.
ago.
I feel
Almost
like.
20 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, they're few and far between after 2000. I feel like the heyday was pre 2000,
Oh yeah.
right?
It's before digital.
Before people
digital
had cameras in their
yeah.
pockets at all times.
Before digital photography, definitely like digital camcorder day.
Thank you.
It just gets pushed down so much because there's so many now. You never know, fake or not.
I think so.
I miss the days of the VHS footage with like the little date and the time in the corner and like nice and blurry. Like I miss the days of those
like, not
UFO sightings.
I mean, I don't know about your guys's when you guys open X, but for me, X is it's
murder.
either
all
murder,
That's it. It's all I have.
UFO videos, and pornography. Those are the 3 things that pop up,
I don't get
and not in that order. Not in that order. So
That mine's all murder. It's
No porn.
yeah, lots of murder, dude. A ton of murder.
porn.
Fuck.
All murder.
it's all murder.
I'm in equal amounts of murder, porn, and UFOs. So it's like
Mine's
I don't know
sports
what
and
I'm
murder.
doing to get that, but I'm always seeing like it'll be like, oh my god, like Bulgarian UFO sighting, and then it's like all these people are like, oh,
Russian
pointing
dude
and,
walks into fucking classroom with 3 grenades. And
no, that one was crazy.
That was hard.
was the council meeting. That was
fucking nuts.
Every now and then, me and Andrew send each other some when something's truly
It's kind of like
we
a
send it.
1-up thing we got going
you're
on
like-
here a little bit.
You'd be like, do you see this video? And I'll be like, yo, I'll see you that video and raise you a guy walking in the counseling meeting who's pissed off about some sort of zoning or something and just starts fucking chucking out live grenades out of his pocket.
It just stands there.
Tell me where I got to put my trash cans.
You guys must never have been in a military off work chat.
Oh yeah, I bet those get dark.
Pretty bad.
It's pretty wild because I mean, one person died, 26 injured, terrible. But I was just like, in
Dude that
times
tossed
where
him
you're
had to die. He dropped one right at his feet.
the first one
Right
he
at
just
his
like,
feet.
I'll just drop this right at my own feet, and then he tossed the next two like into the crowd. And I was like, Oh my God! I've never been. I don't know if I've ever been that mad in my life. I've never been grenade throwing mad. Where I'm like, that's it. I'm gonna just walk in a room,
especially and, 3 grenades. It's just one.
You know what? I should look. I would like to look more into that to find out. Hopefully, he's the only one that died in that incident. But crazy times.
Chuck 3 grenades in your thing. I mean, yeah, you'd have to be pretty angry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's I don't think we had anything else for this live. I think that's it.
Oh, we have to get a Grush update though. Our Grush hour.
Oh, Grush update, Grush hour.
Grush hour.
Yeah, Grush hour.
So who has Grush? Who has Grush heard from now?
Well, he actually had an interview this week, and I think I might have mentioned it last time. Where it was like, yeah, he's going to have an interview. So he went on News Nation with Elizabeth Vargas tonight. On Tuesday.
Fucking News Nation.
So News Nation, I think it's Hulu's. It's Hulu's news. Their news network.
That sounds legit. Hulu's news.
Yeah. Hulu's news. It sounds like a fucking news station for kids.
That's like News Nation. I think is where like Grush like first like kind of had like the first interview with Grush, like first televised interview. I think with him after his his disclosure on the thing after the what was it, the disclose, I guess, what was it called, the disclose, what was the website they published it first, I can't remember, but yeah, no, he went on an interview with Elizabeth Vargas and she asked him kind of like, what has your life been like since you came out with this information. He's like, his life has been a nightmare, apparently.
Like his personal life, like who's crushing on Grush.
Yeah, his personal life.
Let's get the updates on who he thinks going to be Grush. And he's like, Margot Robbie's now single. Is she a Grush?
He's also growing out like a nice little, like he's growing out a beard now, like a little bit more grizzled. Like, well, I guess he might have shaved it. He might have shaved up for the congressional when he did the congressional hearing committee meeting. Now he's like just like he's just like growing out a mean beard, being tough. Or grizzled. It could be a result of him being harassed. He says he's been, or what he has interpreted as harassment from some type of shadowy agency, whether it's the government or not. They have shown
some shadowy 3-letter agency, TMZ.
I don't know. Like I don't know if he's received like direct threats. I think he has said that he's received some. Like disturbing.
Who's threatening him though? Like that's like other than ladies on the internet that were trying to be important. Like makes no sense.
He says
like they'd be way more.
He's saying that it's like people from within the government or people.
Yeah, but he hasn't fucking said nothing.
Or they just fucking spark him. Like, what are we worried about here? If they really want this guy to disappear, he's going to disappear.
Well,
they killed the fucking president of the United States for Christ's sake.
With the old heart attack.
How many people
jump out of a window hand tied?
And part of the reason that Grush is continuing his push for disclosure is like I think he mentions it in the interview is like this is what he feels like is keeping him safe for his own safety. He has to keep doing this.
If they wanted him dead, there's nothing that can keep him safe. Not a single fucking thing.
I don't know about you, but I've heard a story that his hobby is to tie himself up and put himself in a suitcase.
Big on
I don't know. That might happen to him.
Asphyxiation, I've heard.
Yeah. Who knows? Like it would be easy to take this guy out. He's not said anything that he knows firsthand.
He has said that he has said
he knows a guy.
Right. He knows a guy, or he firmly believes that there
is a guy.
The biggest threat right now.
Along, basically.
The biggest threat right now is that private contractors are in charge of these recovered UAP materials. They say that these, whether Lockheed Martin or Boeing, for example, or have these things, which is a possibility. It's like, but giving it to these private contractors would be a way for them to avoid a lot of the paperwork and stuff that the government agencies would be beholden to do, like documentation and stuff like this. You give it to a private contractor, boom, it's gone. Like they don't have to keep any of that shit. They're a private company. They're like, nah. Yeah. So he's saying that these companies or whatever, and so he's still pushing for a lot of. I find it interesting that a lot of his stuff is kind of like pushing for more like oversight, like government, like legitimate oversight, and into like these contracting businesses, which is actually what some people in some elected officials are pushing for, is like, because we had the recent like Pentagon failed its like $6 billion audit, and it's like, where's all that fucking money? Where's that money?
They're
going?
like, if you continue asking, a plane might crash into the audit wing. Okay.
So it's something like that. Like his stuff is like, I'm like, yeah, I agree with oversight. Like it's always a good thing. Like you just need that. We need that. I don't know about honestly, the UAP stuff that he's saying, the claims that he has the stuff to back it up. But yeah, government oversight about some of these contracts and these things that we have, agreements that we have with some of these companies.
I tell you,
like
the Grush hour for me is at 59 minutes and 59 seconds. I've just about had enough of the guy. Unless he like releases something of some sort of importance that he has direct knowledge of.
He's just going to disappear from mainstream.
He's given the information to the proper authorities. That's what he says. He's given it to the proper authorities. Why didn't he just release
the information?
He can't. Like he'll go to jail if he does. Like it's part of his, like in his contract as a government employee, saying that if I release this information like by these informal channels, like just come out and say it, like he would be responsible for that information. He could go to jail.
I don't think so. Captain specificity.
Yeah.
He says, has Grush thought about releasing the documents and writing without recourse on the bottom?
Oh, that's right.
Ooh,
somebody call him. Somebody got him. Like get him in. No.
Got him.
Yeah.
So that's that'd be interesting. But I'm honestly, I think the whole Grush stuff, because it's on X, it's always popping off on like any kind of UFO space so much, and I'm like, there's fucking nothing to it right now. Like, really, it's like it's a guy. And I've made the comparison. It's just like us talking to people and be like, we talked to a guy who saw a fucking UFO. It's like, yeah, that's true, but it's not like that's not our information. We're secondhand. We're just, you can get your UFO stuff from here, from us. We're just as credible as Grush.
Have you guys heard about Mark Zuckerberg's secret $100 million compound he's building in Hawaii?
Oh yeah, I just fucking read about that.
Well, it's not so secret anymore, is it?
What is it? What is it?
I bet it's gonna have a giant M at the entrance of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me guess the roof color. Blue.
Well, it's like this giant white, clear, and blue building of what people have been able to take photos of so far. So you're not completely wrong, but just like American Way, they compared it to the size of tennis courts. But they said they could fit like 1,000 tennis courts in this like compound, and it would be one of the biggest privately owned secret building construction in the United States.
Do we have any idea what's it for?
It's for him to live in.
No,
for him.
Not yet.
It's got a bunch of breakaway like panic rooms and all this.
But apparently it has like this whole underground system underneath this like mansion that he's built.
It's got little tunnels and little Disney tunnels.
Trucking in people to help build
all
it.
Those rich people are paranoid like that. The house we built for NHL player all had breakaway panic rooms. Every single one of them.
That's true.
Weird. Yeah. It's like poor people are like, nobody's breaking in because we don't fucking have anything.
Yeah, listen, like
I don't need a panic room.
Yeah,
every room's a panic room because I'm panicking to pay my fucking mortgage. All right? It's like, fuck.
Every room I'm in, I'm currently occupying is a panic room.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that's going to be like.
Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye on that and see what's going on. I imagine it's some sort of maybe like Facebook fucking metaverse bullshit.
Right.
Just gonna play VR from deep in the dungeon.
Just a big old VR place to work. Well, that's all we had for the lives today. So Shadow Ursi, thank you for stepping up, joining the show this week. If you want to jump in, join the show, patreon.com/alientheorizing. Check out the tiers. Make sure the tier you're supporting at allows you to join the lives, and then you message Dano and he puts you on the list. And then so far, best dressed correspondent.
Oh, I can take this off now.
The old clip-on tie, love it. That is like true class.
You look good.
And if you want to support the show, thank you to everyone. They topped up the beer fund. We really appreciate that. PayPal.me/Big3 Productions or Patreon.com/Alien Theorist Podcast. Support the show. You get tons of bonus stuff. This is our go home episode, so there's not going to be another live ATT live till January 7th. We will have case files coming out. In the meantime, they will be pre-recorded, so they won't be live, and we will be back in the new year, back theorizing, back talking stuff, updated news, and plenty other good stuff. So make sure to like and subscribe, follow the podcast, and have you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, and we wish you all the best. And as we always say at the end of these things, keep those eyes
on the skies. Yeah.
Oh, you motherfucker!